What's up, everybody, and welcome to Financially Fierce, a podcast made for young adults by young adults. Where we're going to have conversations with experienced adults in fields like homeownership, credit, professional development, all to make sure that we can give you a step by step guide to success. With that being said, today we're going to be here with Miss Patrice Johnson. She's going to talk to us about student loans. Now, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Johnson?
Yes, I am Patrice Johnson. I am alumni of Norfolk State University, class of 1991. I started in financial aid in 1991. Actually, I was a work study student here. I came to Norfolk State in 1984. I was a work study student in 1987. After I graduated in 1991, there was a job available, and I applied for the job. And I've been working here ever since. So I've been here for 33 years at Norfolk State University. I've seen a lot of changes on our campus, beautiful changes. And also, my father, who since has passed, he was a retired financial aid director. He was a financial aid director at Virginia State University and at John Tyler Community College, which is now known as Bright Point Community College in Chesterfield County, Virginia. So I have a lot of HBCU background. A lot of my family members graduated from HBCU. My sister graduated from North Carolina A&T. My brother went to Virginia State. My parents went to Shaw University. Had uncles and aunts that went to Johnson C. Smith, North Carolina Central. Cousins that went to Howard University, Hampton University. So I have a vast background of HBCU, and I love HBCU. I love my HBCU. I love Norfolk State. I bleed green and gold. So go Spartans.
Yes. And so, actually, based on your experience within the field, what are some common misconceptions that you've experienced over your time?
um, when students apply for financial aid or they don't, they like, well, I'm not going to get any financial aid, so I'm not going to apply. You don't know what you're going to receive until you apply. Some parents do make a high amount of income and sometimes the student does not qualify for what they want to qualify for because of the income of the parent or parents. But you still don't know what you're going to receive. You may receive certain types of scholarships that assist you with helping with college funding. So the misconception is, "Oh, I got to make this amount of money to receive financial aid." Not necessarily so. You do not know what you're going to receive until you apply. And that is the bottom line. You have to apply for financial aid if you want assistance from the Department of Education.
Okay, and then something that I used to have a question about was, um, is there any type of way you could still qualify for financial aid if maybe your parents are not going to pay for it for you, so you're like more on your own with it? But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, as far as that is concerned, we do have a lot of students that come to us and say, "Well, my parents are not going, don't want to assist or want the help with my schooling or paying for my schooling or with financial aid. They don't want to put their income information on," which we understand. Some information, income information, the parents do not want to give to the Department of Education for some reason or another. So in that case, we do a case by case basis and we review the student's information. And unfortunately, if that is the case, the student only receives a student loan if the
Mm.
parent refuses to provide any documents or any income information to the student. So, with that being said, the university, we do have payment options that the student can sign up for. The student can also apply for a private loan, in which we can discuss that later on.
Mhm.
And or either, just like I said, a payment plan or a private loan, which would be an option. But sometimes you just cannot get around without putting your parents' income information on the FAFSA. And if that happens, it depends on the case. So we go by case and do a professional judgment based on the student's information.
So if I was a student who had to get a student loan, then what are the types of student loans? 'Cause I know there's subsidized and unsubsidized, but could you explain what those are?
Yes, subsidized and unsubsidized loans are loans that are offered by the Department of Education. You do not do a separate application. In the past, when I was going to school in the 80s and early 90s, you had to do a separate loan application. That was a long time ago. That was way before technology played into play, and we was still doing a lot of things by paper. So you had to do a paper application back then. But now, because technology has truly advanced, we are now in the age of online and doing everything online. The only thing that you have to do to receive a subsidized and subsidized loan is complete the FAFSA application. So when you complete the FAFSA application, you will be awarded or offered the subsidized and subsidized student loans. And it is up to the student, not to the financial aid office. It's up to the student whether or not the student wants to accept those student loans or decline those student loans. As a student loan borrower, you do have the option to accept or decline. We're just offering it to you. We're not saying you have to take it, but it is offered to you to accept it or to decline.
Okay. So, could you go into the difference between the federal loans and the private loans? 'Cause I remember you said something about that as well. And
Yes,
like, talk about like the benefits and the drawbacks of each as well.
yes. Well, the federal loans, like I said, are offered through the Department of Education when you do the FAFSA application. That's the only way you will receive the federal subsidized and unsubsidized student loans. With the private loans, they are several loan lenders, loan service or loan lenders, excuse me, that offer private loans. Now, with the private loans, there are different loan interest rates in which you would have to check with that particular loan lender. Loan lenders are like Sallie Mae, Nailnet, Wells Fargo, but you would have to, as a student, have to go onto the website to see what loan servicers or loan lenders have as far as different loan fees, interest rates, and what is the advantage of taking out a private loan. Now, what we do not necessarily offer a private loan on the student's financial aid award. The student has to apply. That's one of the other loans that you have to apply for, and
Mhm.
it is credit based versus the federal subsidized and unsubsidized loans. The federal unsubsidized and subsidized loans are not credit based. All you have to do is complete the FAFSA application. However, when you do the federal, or not the federal, when you do a private loan, it is credit based, so they do check your credit. If you're not credit worthy, they do let you know that you have to have a cosign. When we do private loans, mainly the students that receive private loans are our students who are not making satisfactory academic progress. Because if they're not making satisfactory academic progress, they cannot receive financial aid for that semester. And there is a
Okay.
process to appeal for that. But if they do not receive financial aid, then we direct them to apply for a private loan.
So if sorry, I had a question I was trying to remember just
Mhm.
now. But yeah, it just slipped my mind. But hold on a
He'll come
moment.
back to you.
Yeah, it's gonna come back.
Well,
Oh yes. So
oh,
what are the interest rates? Sorry, what are the interest rates danger zones? Cause I know a lot of times sometimes we don't really understand interest rates and what are the good zones, what are the bad zones, stuff like that.
Well, the interest rates for the 23-24 academic school year for undergraduate student loan borrowers is 5.5%. That is for the subsidized and unsubsidized loans. For the graduate students or professional borrowers, if you want to say graduate professional borrowers, their interest rate is 7.05%. And graduate students only receive unsubsidized student loans. They do not receive subsidized. So with the undergraduate, it's 5.5%, and graduate is 7.05%. The interest rate is fixed. It's a fixed rate for the life of the loan. Um, so we don't know what the interest rate will be if it's going to change for the 2024-2025 year. We will not know that until after July 1st of this year.
Okay. So, what are some areas or places where you would normally apply for private loans?
There's a website for Norfolk State. I cannot speak for any other school, but for Norfolk State, we have a website that students can go to click on. If they go to nsu.edu backslash financial aid backslash loans, on that page, you will see a section that says alternative private loans. There is a link that says fast choice. When the student clicks on that link, it takes them to the fast choice website. And that's where the student will receive all the names of the lenders that we have on our list that the student can apply with. Of course, our most popular lender right now is Sally Mae. So a lot of students apply private loans with Sally Mae. But
Okay,
that's where
thank
you will
you.
go to apply for a private loan.
Well, I want to jump in and quickly ask here, while applying for student loans, what does the process look like for applying for a basic student loan? Let's say, like, how should, if I was to start applying for a student loan today, how should I start it?
Well, the first thing you have to do is do the FAFSA application.
Right.
So if you wish to receive a subsidized unsubsidized loan, the application you need to do is the FAFSA. That's the only application you do. That one application is the FAFSA application. So if you plan to attend in the 2024-2025 academic year, then you will do that 24-25 FAFSA application. Once you complete the FAFSA application, the Department of Education will send the school your FAFSA information to us. Once we receive the information, we will review it to see what you're eligible for. And as far as loan limits, how much you can borrow, it depends on your grade level. So when I say grade level, I mean freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, or graduate. Now, it's not like you're in high school and after you finish your first year of college, you become a sophomore. It's not like that in college. In college, it's based on the credit hours that you completed, which will determine your grade level and whether or not you have advanced. So the loan limits of a student loan as a freshman, the total loan limit is 6,500. As a
Okay.
undergraduate dependent student, and when I say dependent student, that means that when you do your FAFSA application, you have to put your parents' information on your FAFSA. If you have to do that, then you are considered a dependent student. So, as a dependent student, I mean, not 6,500, I'm sorry. Let me jump back. It's 5,500, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Which means that in the subsidized loan, you will receive a total of $3,500. And I'm talking about the academic year, not just one semester. Subsidized loan is 3,500 and the unsubsidized is 2,000. And once you advance to the sophomore year, your subsidized loan will increase by $1,000, which is $4,500 for the sophomore year in the subsidized. The unsubsidized loan will remain for $2,000. In the
Okay.
junior senior year, you will receive additional $1,000, which is 5,500 for the subsidized, and the $2,000 will remain in unsub as an undergraduate student.
Okay.
When you become independent, it the amount goes a little higher because the subsidized loans are the same: 3,500, 4,500, 5,500. The unsubsidized as an independent student will increase. So at the freshman, sophomore level, as an independent student, your unsubsidized loan will be 6,000, and then in the junior senior level, it will be 7,000.
Okay.
Okay. So from my understanding, if I'm applying for a private loan also, my understanding is I can choose the amount that I will be trying to borrow. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So, my question is, how do I know how much I should borrow? Should I just borrow enough for school? Is there like, would you say if you need money, you don't have a job, should I borrow more than that? Like, what would you say from your expertise?
Okay, are you talking about the private loan or are you talking about the subsidized and subsidized loan?
It can be for either.
Okay, now with the subsidized and subsidized loans, you is preset as far as what we award you. As I mentioned, the amounts of the loans, you can decrease the loans if you wish, but you cannot increase it. So if you are considered a freshman and we award you the 3,500 in subsidized, and he was like, "Well, I need more than that. Can I?" You can do a request to increase it, but that request is going to be denied because we cannot give you no more than 3,500 in the subsidized at the freshman level. Same thing when you go to sophomore, junior, and we do have a lot of students that request more because they need to pay for their tuition, but unfortunately, we cannot go over that limit. Now, with the private loan, you can request 10,000, 20,000, 25,000, but the application still comes through the financial aid office. So we still have to determine, even though you can request $25,000, we still have to see whether or not you're still going to be eligible for 25,000. So we do have students that apply for a private loan and still receive financial aid, and they apply for the private loan because they don't have enough. But we still have to look at, okay, the student is getting this much in financial aid. Can the student still get the 25,000 they request? Every student that applies for financial aid receives what we call a cost of attendance budget. So we cannot go over that budget. So if you receive financial aid and then you apply for a private loan, and say like within the budget you only have $5,000 within that budget, and you request 20,000, we cannot give you 20,000. We can only give you 5,000 because you have to stay within that cost of attendance budget. So it varies depending on the student's FAFSA or financial aid information. But the student with the private loan, they can request more than what they need or whatever they need to help pay for school.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, also, I remember before earlier you were talking about repayment options. Could
Mhm.
you go into a little more about that?
Yes, I have to look at my notes a little bit.
Hmm.
As we all know, if you take out a student loan, it is a loan. You have to remember this is a loan that you are receiving from the Department of Education, and of course, they want their money back. So you have to repay these loans back if you accept these loans. Now, there are repayment options, and as we know, during COVID in 2020, the repayment options were paused, and they were paused for about 3.5 years. The repayment has started back up last September, September 2023. So now students are going back to paying their student loans. There are several repayment plans that students can choose from. There is a standard payment repayment plan, a graduate repayment plan, and an extended repayment plan. Now, with the repayment plans, the student is responsible to contact their loan servicer, not the school. The school cannot determine or give you the option of, okay, you're going to be on the standard payment plan or extended. The student is responsible to contact their loan servicer. So I know myself, I am repaying my student loan, my graduate student loans back. My loan servicer is Aid Advantage. So I need to contact Aid Advantage and see what type of repayment plan is best for me to be on so I can determine what my payments will be. So it's very, very, very important that you contact and keep in contact with your loan servicer because they will determine which payment plan will be best for you. Now, if you do not choose a repayment plan, 9 times out of 10, the loan servicer will put you on a standard payment plan. But there is another, I think there's a payment plan called Safe Payment Plan, but the student needs to talk to the loan servicer to see what type of repayment plan is best for them.
So could you go into a little more detail about like how the payment plan would kind of work? Are there like what are the time periods you have to pay back and things like that?
Well, when you start repaying your loans, when you graduate, you do have a grace period of 6 months. So it's not like you have to repay it right away. Graduation is May 4th of this year. It's not like you have to pay your student loans back the week after graduation. There is a
Mhm.
grace period, excuse me, where you can repay your loans back. Now, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Within
you're
that
fine.
grace period, before the 6 months, the loan servicer will send you an email or send something in the mail, U.S. mail, to let you know, hey, you are close to your 6 months is ending. It's time to start repaying your loans back. They break down everything for you as far as the interest, um, the principal, the loans, how much each loan is for, what your payments are for each, or what your payments will be for each month. There's no penalty to pay early. So if you're still in school and you want to pay your loans down or you want to go ahead and pay them off, you can do so. There's no penalty for that. So we do have some students that, they get their refund check sometimes, they go ahead and repay their loans back. Not every student does that, of course. But you need to contact your loan servicer to see what your payments will be, and they will let you know, hey, this is how much your payments are this month, depending on the payment plan, repayment plan you are signed up for.
I think it's very funny that you brought that up actually about you being able to pay it in school because that actually led into my next question.
Hmm.
I do know that with the unsubsidized loans, you get interest on it as you're in school. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So my question was, if I was a student who had the money or I was working at least, would you recommend me paying off my student, like paying some of my student loan while I'm in school?
You can. I'm not gonna recommend it, but that's the student's option. That's their choice. Some
Is
students
it okay to
do.
get your feedback on that, or like why not?
Say that again.
Is it okay if I get your feedback on like why not?
We don't want to say, as far as a financial aid administrator, we recommend you to repay your loans back while you're in school. Some students cannot do so. When they get their refund check, they have other things that they need to pay for with their refund check. So we can't say, well, we recommend you to start paying your student loan. It's an option. It is a total option. They students do ask us, can I start repaying my loans back? Is there a penalty? And we say yes, you can start repaying your loans back, but there's no penalty to pay it early. So it is up to the student. It's not up to us because you as a student are repaying the loans back, not we. Not me. I'm paying my own loans back. The rest of the staff, if they have loans, they paying their own loans back or whatever the case may be. So we can't just say, well, you need to go ahead and repay your student loans right now. It is an option and it's up to the student whether or not they want to do so or not.
Okay.
Mhm.
So my next question is more so, I guess, maybe a graduate question, but
Mhm.
is there a way for you to pause your loans for like once it starts?
Yes, you have to contact your loan servicer. So if you are able to make payments, or if you made a payment this month, next month, and then you find out, well, I can't make this payment for this month, it is important that you contact your loan servicer and let them know, well, hey, my name is Patrice Johnson and blah, blah, blah. I'm not able to pay my student loan payment this month. Can I pause? Or if I'm not able to make it within the next 4 or 5 months, you have to contact the loan servicer to see if you can do a forbearance. If you want to do a forbearance, they have to send you paperwork to fill out, and with that forbearance, it will pause your loan payments, I believe for a year or 6 months. I can't remember how long it is. But your payments will be on pause if you talk to your loan servicer and have them say or let them know that you cannot pay your loans right now. So it's very, very important that you talk to your loan servicer.
Okay.
Well, I just want to begin with, um, I have student loans, so this is a lot of information for me to know and understand. So this is going to be great. And this last little bit that I have to ask, um, how does student loan forgiveness work?
Student loan forgiveness. There's several types of student loan forgiveness programs out there. Of course, you have the public service loan forgiveness. That's for people who work for the government and nonprofit employers. You have the teacher loan forgiveness. That's for people who work in the teaching jobs. You also have the income driven repayment forgiveness, and those are people who repay their loans on that plan. And you also have the total and permanent disability discharge, and that's for students who are disabled and they're not able to pay on their loans. So with the forgiveness, um, as far as the teacher forgiveness program, you have to be a teacher, of course. You have to teach full time for 5 complete and consecutive academic years in a low income elementary secondary school. So if you're a teacher and you've been teaching for 10 years and you want to forgive your loans, I'm not saying they will forgive it all together. They may forgive a certain percentage of the loans. You will have to contact the loan servicer to see what schools are eligible wherever you teach. If you teach here at Booker T High School, Booker T High School may not be on the list. It may or may not.
Hmm.
But you have to contact the loan servicer to see if Booker T Washington High School is on that list. If it's on that list, then you can apply for the teacher forgiveness program, and they will send you paperwork to fill out, submit it to them. They process it. They will let you know whether or not your loans will be forgiven. And we all know that we've heard it in the news, on social media, everywhere about President Biden forgiving all these loans for these
Hmm.
students. And there is a process. It's not like he has said he's forgiving these loans and their loans go away. They have to contact the loan servicer. They still have to complete paperwork to do that. And then, of course, it is up to the loan servicer to determine whether or not those loans are forgiven. With the public service loan forgiveness, um, like I said, you work in a public agency. If you work in child care, early childhood, or public nonprofit education, you have a student loans. The student loans can be forgiven as well. So you just need to contact your loan servicer to see what program you fall under as far as the forgiveness program.
Awesome, awesome. Um, I was gonna ask, how do student loans does it affect my credit score, or does it affect me in college as I'm going through now?
Yes, student loans does affect your credit score. So according to the Department of Education, the first day you are late, your loan goes
Hmm.
into delinquent. First day. That means your loan is past due. So when your loan is past due, of course they don't put your account or loan record in delinquency or in default right away. You have time. So when you are past due, of course they do notify you and say, hey, your loan payment is past due. Um, if you are delinquent on your student loan payments for 90 days or more, they will report your delinquency to the credit bureau. If you are don't make payments within 90 days or more, then your loans will go into default. And you don't want your loans to go into default because that's going to be on your credit report. That's going to hurt you in the long run because when your loans go into default, you will not be able to get a car, you can't get a house. Um, if you decide to go back to school, whether or not it's undergraduate or graduate, you cannot receive financial aid. Some students don't know that. When your loans go into default, you cannot receive financial aid until you make 6 consecutive payments on your loans. And once you have made 6 consecutive payments, then the Department of Education will say, okay, this student has made the payments, they are no longer in default. So
Okay.
if you've been out of school for a while and you haven't repaid your loans back and your loans in default, and you do your FAFSA application, it's going to tell you on your FAFSA your loans are in default according to the National Student Loan Database. Your student loans are in default. When we receive the information, we cannot award you financial aid until we get an official letter from the Department of Education stating that you are no longer in default. So it does affect your credit. So please, please, as I said before, please keep in contact with your loan servicer.
So I have a real quick question for that because I do remember before we were saying that there are some loans that are due while you're in school. So would that be something that could happen if you don't pay anything on it while you're in school?
Well, no, basically, if you are still in school, your loans will not go into default or delinquent because the loan
Okay.
servicer knows that you're in school. What we do is when we submit the loan record or we process the student loans, there we do let the student, I mean the loan service or the Department of Education know your anticipated completion date or graduation date. So when we submit that information to them, they say, okay, this student doesn't graduate until 2026. So when 2026 comes around and you're still in school and they send you information and say, hey, it's time to start repaying your loans back, and you like, well, I haven't finished school. I'm still in school. You need
Hmm.
to contact the loan servicer because what they'll do is they will send you an in-school deferment form. And once you receive that in-school deferment form, you have to take that form to the registrar's office. And the registrar's office will fill that form out to indicate and verify that you are in fact still enrolled in school. And they will also give the Department of Education an anticipated completion date. So it's important that if we submit the documents and say that the student's supposed to be graduating in 20, let's say 2024,
Hmm.
and you are able to complete your studies or your program in 2024 and you will not complete in 2025, then you have to contact the servicer, get that in-school deferment form, take it to the registrar's office so they can verify your enrollment.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, what should I do if I can't make my loan payments on time?
Call your loan servicer.
Call my loan service.
That's the bottom line. Contact and keep in contact with your loan servicer. So because they're the ones that keeps a record of your loans, your loan payments, and if you're able to make it, just call your loan servicer. Hey, my name is James Sargent, and I'm not able to make my payment this month, or not able to make it. Whatever your situation is, just talk to them and let them know, and they will give you information or send you information regarding to pause your payment or do a forbearance.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so, do you have any question or do you have anything that you would like to tell our audience that we haven't discussed yet? Anything that you think we should know?
Well, not really, but right now I wish that everyone, or if you plan to attend in the fall of 2024, I hope everyone has completed a 2024-2025 FAFSA application. I know it was a delay with the Department of Education for having it out. Usually the FAFSAs come out October 1st, but there was a delay because the Department of Education was trying to simplify and do a lot of changes with the FAFSA. It did not come out to December 31st. And then, of course, the schools were supposed to receive the FAFSA information from the Department of Education in February, and we received notification that we will not receive it until later on this month. So it is a little delay in us receiving the information and starting awarding our students financial aid for the fall. But if you have not done so, please do the 24-25 FAFSA. Do not wait till the last minute. Also, search for scholarships. Do not always depend on our office to assist you with scholarships. It's up to you to search for it. We do award scholarships, but it's also up to you as a student to search for scholarships. And there's a lot of scholarships out there, a lot. And if you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, we do have information regarding scholarships, how to apply for scholarships, outside scholarships, institutional scholarships. So just remember, you have to do your research on your own sometimes. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Even though the students are on spring break, yes, we are open. And we're open year round. So I just want to let everyone know we are open year round. Even when students go home for the summer, we're still here for the summer. Christmas break, we're here up through a certain time during Christmas because we go home and get our break too. So, but we don't go home early as the students do. So we here usually in December. We're here till like the 20th, 21st. We come back the day after New Year's. So we get our break as well for the Christmas holiday and for Thanksgiving. And don't be discouraged. We here. You can contact us either email, phone, or in person. Don't wait until it's our peak time. Our peak time is August, of course, because that's when school starts. August and January. That's our peak time. Coming into the fall semester, our peak time will probably start around June or July because everyone is coming to orientation and everybody's trying to see how much they're going to receive in aid, how much they have to pay for school in the fall semester. So, just keep in contact with us and we're here to help you and we'll do the best that we can. And as I said, we're here Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Awesome,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Um, just going into closing now. Based on where you are at in the present day, if you had a chance to go back to your younger self, what advice would you give?
um, I know when I entered, came to Norfolk State, I know I was a nursing major and I wanted to be a nurse. But unfortunately, the classes that the class, or the one particular class that I had to take over again like twice, 2 or 3 times, like, okay, this is not for me. So I had changed my major to business. But if I knew what I know now, a lot of things would have changed for me, really. Um, I did not think I was going to be in financial aid this long, but I'm glad I did because I do enjoy what I do. I enjoy helping our students help themselves through school. A lot of students that I've helped, I've seen 10, 12, 20, almost 20 years ago too, they tell me, Miss Johnson, oh, I'm so happy to see you. You helped me so much. I wouldn't have gotten through school without your help. I hear it all the time. So I'm just happy and humbled that, someone looks up to me for to help them through school because a lot of students do that. And a lot of students, they have situations. A lot of our students come from first generation in a single parent home, and most of them are first generation college students. So, this is their first time coming to college. Anyone in their family, this is their first time coming to college. And when you come to graduation, you see the happy faces. I mean, the parents, the grandparents, the cousins, sisters, brothers, everyone is happy to see them graduate because they're the first ones to graduate. And when they see us, not just me, but my staff members as well, my coworkers, they are so happy and they're thankful that we help them along the way.
And thank you. We really
Awesome,
appreciate
awesome.
all your help.
Oh, you're welcome.
Very much.
When do you all graduate?
2025.
2025.
Oh, next year. Okay, all
Mm-hmm.
right. And your major?
I'm an IT major.
Okay, James.
Sociology with a minor in criminal justice.
Oh, great. Okay, all right. Well,
I was gonna say
congratulations to both y'all. Huh?
Thank
I was
you.
on that nursing track just like you were. And then I messed up on a bio class, and I was like, my advisor was like, I don't know how it's, you
Yeah,
probably should leave. I was like, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because back then, yeah, you all not born anyway. Back kid came in '84. So I mean, the things that y'all have here on campus, I wish we had them. It's a lot of. I mean, I'm just so happy to see how Norfolk State has grown and the campus has grown. I mean, we didn't even have all this at all. And just to not get off track, but when we had one cafeteria, which was the West Caf. That's where everybody ate. We didn't
Mhm.
have all this the new complex, and because back there was the Norfolk Community Hospital. We didn't have the football stadium on campus. We had to go to
Wow.
ODU's campus, and it was just a lot. But I'm just so happy to see that how Norfolk State has grown and the enrollment has grown as well. So We in a new age, new technology, and it's just unbelievable. So I love Nova State. As I said, I believe green and gold.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your
Well, thank
knowledge
you.
on student
Oh,
loans.
you're welcome.
Right. And if any of you guys are listening and would like to connect with us to continue the conversation, please don't forget to follow us on all our social medias. They'll be linked down in the bio below. It would be for you to join our Discord, talk with us online, all the usual stuff. If you have any questions from the conversation, please don't feel free to ask down in the chat. We will get to them as soon as possible. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Congratulations, you two. That's good.
Thank you.